This video is going to walk you through how to create an intervention plan, a goal for the intervention plan, and how to update progress monitoring. First thing, of course, is you're going to have to log into your LinkIt account. You can either use your username and password, or if you've already signed in before, you can sign in with Google. Once you're here, you can click on the Intervention Manager tab icon right here at the top, and then click on IM Dashboard. Really quickly, I just want to point out to you that this checkbox is turned off, so it's good practice to leave that unchecked. I would also suggest that you go to the configuration gear here and make sure that you have access to focus groups. If this is not already checked on, make sure to check it on and hit save. What we're going to do next is filter the focus groups. We're just going to select the focus groups of the teacher who is creating the intervention plan. So to do that, you click on this icon, this filter icon right here, and scroll down to the focus group that you're going to be working with. For this example, we are going to make intervention plans for 3 students simultaneously, but you could do this one at a time. One thing you want to make sure that you do not do is do not click this checkbox even if you're only selecting these 3 students. Just individually check off the 3 students that you will create a plan for, and then choose the plus sign here to add a document. Once you're on this screen, this is when you're going to choose your document type. And of course, for this video, we are making an intervention plan, so you will choose the drop-down and pick intervention plan. Depending on the cycle is what your start and end date will be. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to go with cycle 0 in 22-23, so I will choose September 12th and end on November 4th. You do not need to put an outcome, so you can hit save here. Now we are going to notice that there are new cards listed here, or boxes. So essentially we're going to make a new intervention. We will hit this plus sign right here. You'll notice that the start and end date are going to reflect the cycle that we chose already, so you should not need to change that. What you will need to update is the tier, so we will go with a tier 3 plan. You will choose the category that makes sense for your intervention. I'm going to choose reading. And then again, depending on the kind of intervention is what you will select, but I will choose phonological awareness and then choose phonemic awareness. Depending how often you meet the student is how you will fill out the schedule. I'm going to put 5 times each week for 30 minutes. And our interventions are group. The location is going to be a pull out of class, and you will select yourself as the facilitator. Hit save and add goal. This is where you're going to write out a specific goal for the student. You will also find that there are some canned available goals here, depending on the selections you made, in which case, if there were any, you'd be able to click on this icon and choose the drop down here. For demonstration purposes, I'm choosing a sample goal and not being specific. What you will do next is choose your progress monitoring dates. So generally, you will choose the date of your baseline and then at least every other week during the cycle. Most likely, you will then choose a final date for your progress monitoring. And you can see there are a total of 5 dates selected for this sample. Last thing you're going to do is the assessment name. So this is what you're going to be monitoring the students with. In the label and measurement type, this is where you're going to label the specific skill. And finally, your target score should match what your goal is. I'm putting 90 for the purposes of this demonstration. When you are done with all of this, you are going to hit save and close. The reason why we hit save and close is that you'll remember we selected multiple students for this intervention plan. And before we keep going and starting to add data points, we want to apply this intervention plan to the multiple students we selected. So now that we're back on this home screen for this student, we will hit apply all. And now all 3 students that had been selected all have the same intervention plan, the same intervention, the same goal, and the specific dates we chose for our progress monitoring. To continue with this demonstration, I will stick with just this student and click on the goal that I was working on. You'll find from when we hit save last time that some of this information has become permanent. If we scroll down to the notification schedule, we could actually hit generate tasks at this point, and it'll send us an email reminder for every progress monitoring date that we wanted to get a reminder about putting data in. You'll also find that the dates have been pre-populated based on what we selected before, but you're not married to these dates if the date does not align. Like, let's say that it actually happened on the 27th instead of the 26th. You can make that adjustment right there. You can also add or remove rows as it makes sense. Now here is where we're going to put our baseline number. This is going to be where the student started at the beginning of this cycle. So I'm just going to put 70 in there. And now if you scroll down, you will see that we have a graph generated, which indicates that the target for the student to meet the goal at the end of the cycle, they're going to fall a little short based on this so far. The projection is like 86 instead of 90, but that's what the projection would be, assuming that they followed the plan exactly. You'll also find as we add more data points in here that the graph will update. Now, it's also important to know that you can add comments in here. So I'd be able to add a comment, hit save, and now there is a comment associated with that data point. It also shows up on the tooltip of the graph. You'll find you don't have to hit save every time when you're in this part of progress monitoring. It is saving every time you make an update. When you're all done, you can go back to your document, hit close, and you should be able to find the intervention plans for each individual student and make updates as you see them. If you made an intervention plan and you realize that is not a permanent intervention plan, or you were learning to create an intervention plan, but really at this point you need to remove your sample, all you have to do is navigate to that individual student by either clicking on the latest document or clicking on their name. Select that intervention plan. And you'll see by default, you end up back on this screen, so we don't want to be all the way into their goal. So you'll hit back to document. And then you'll click on this gear to hit delete this document. If you have any questions or run into any issues using LinkIt Intervention Manager or creating your intervention plan, please reach out to me using the data ticket system or give me a direct call at extension 1029. Thank you and have a great day.